Because recording is in progress.
Like you want to be so. Yeah. Some people. On TV live.
Oh, first, vertical. Yes,
Yesterday.
no, he was on TV. Well, it was. He was a legal counsel for better than here. I mean, she was pretty long. She's like, help.
And it was gonna come out of that way.
That's the first time I had to go all the way to that level and comprehensive solve an IRA. Yeah, 20 years. It was
In California.
in California. Yeah. Well, you should know, remember, the guy's lawyer actually finally found out. State. And it's IRS. Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah.
I'll take three.
Three.
Yeah.
Actually, I do like 12. Yeah, because you're
I've done that
not.
before, but it doesn't help.
Still, that's it helped.
Yeah. And I know. You have to turn by all right, yeah. So let's. I suggest you go to the small hall. Yeah. Really? Every kid. Every single kid. First off. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Thank you so much for showing us the beauty of it. Yeah, you call it, you said, what's the name yet? That's, I don't know, I'm not here. You did, but nobody was. I was gonna. Oh, because I guess I worked the next morning. And I don't get in. I'll say,
Then our speaker's not gonna hear this.
we have a meeting.
Is that true? Yeah, she said, morning, just to make sure you
So, I mean.
get a scene, I sent you an email saying.
It's a public.
With the speaker presentation, she isn't able to walk.
On a calendar.
I had a photography class.
Oh, so she isn't able to bring in a USB.
Okay, what is she able to do?
Try to wing it.
That's something about me.
This is probably no like video presentation. We're not finding our camera for some reason here. There we go.
She was fun.
Yeah. I wonder what would happen just out of curiosity directly in. Because we're also not able to find our remote speaker.
Oh.
So.
That made a difference. Yeah.
Is God to, so you're quiet.
All right, so this must have been up.
My kid also told me that the only time that
Oh, this is unplugged. Well, no,
Oh, you
tried
just unplugged
plugging
it.
this in directly.
Yeah.
So we can go back to using the cord. I just thought, well, the cord itself. So let's go back to that. Yeah, unplug this.
Plug that into there and I'll plug this in so we can move this further away. And for whatever reason, it wasn't using the microphone either, but we can use a microphone.
Nothing wrong.
As long as it's not leaking, you don't have to find out.
Alex Calvin, she's having a presentation. Yeah, well, we're already waiting for that.
Testing, testing.
But we haven't promoted Tom yet. I only have 5 times, so. So what happens when they throw it out? How do we have access to the database? So I'll just log in with the password, be able to see the Apple part there. And all their attachments. Okay. And when I have to do that, you send it out to all the judges. Yeah, well, welcome back, yeah. Who we believe in. It's a complimentary fact. If you believe something, I can say, oh, when I think it's too much. That's all, and that's where you does it better. That's why. You have people. Well, we all do that. Fill in what we don't know, right? Well, then you don't know nothing done. You'll never have to revisit. You know, with the exception, especially even if we need to run it on the page, don't put 24 lines.
All right. Meeting begin.
Morning, Rotarians, if you'll join me with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excellent. And now we're going to recite the 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, second, third, fourth, beneficial, all concerned.
And
Fifth, you can go down far enough.
all right, Eileen's not here today. And Gary, did
She did.
she did?
She has COVID, so she said she couldn't be here.
Is that HIPAA information?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Smart out.
And that was all.
You guys all gonna be quiet now?
Yeah.
Even if you only make a difference in one person's life, you're still made a difference. From somebody named Grayson Verdon.
School? That's all right, yeah.
I don't like.
All right,
We won't tell anybody.
well, I see no visitors, but I do see a birthday boy. Oh. Who could that be?
No, I thought you didn't tell us.
You better reread the line.
Seriously, is this your birthday?
Today?
Hey. If we can sing, yeah.
If it's your, I can borrow, or you can pay us not to. Yeah, I can borrow. $50. Oh. $1 for every year. It's more than that. $100 then. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Awesome, thanks.
I noticed that man stepped out and he started singing. Yeah.
Well, I stepped in my.
Yeah.
He's the next.
Or-
hot seat.
Or you can pay a fine.
He's got a rotary in today.
Wow. For 1 year.
I don't know if there's a song for rotary in.
Let's make one. Let's not. Good morning, Amy Lou.
Hi, Amy. How are you feeling?
Great,
How was
good, thank you.
8 hours on that trip or on the bike?
Did she go swimming yet today?
Wrote it here.
Cold shower today, and yes, on Wednesday. 8 hours on the bike, almost 80 miles, and over $80,000. You tell me that I really appreciate it. It is You know, the coolest part about it was sitting there for 8 hours and, just being a witness to all of the folks that were coming and going at the YMCA. All walks of life for all different purposes utilizing the Y. It was really special. Yeah, it was cool, so. Done and done, I had to charm us off yesterday. No, yeah.
He's all set for the next one.
Sit on chairs.
Just don't call them a sound, right?
Yeah, right. Thank you.
So then,
Are you Barbara?
I am.
You're Barbara, okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, Barbara.
Sorry for interrupting your.
Oh, have a seat.
all right, we were in a pause.
She is our speaker today, so we're looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Probably around 8-ish or so.
Sure.
Okay, just kind of a reminder, I think most of us got the email, but in case you didn't see it, there's a new date for the District 50/50 conference or assembly. It's April 6th. I don't remember what it was before.
It was the week after, and they had to change because of the venue.
Okay, and the new venue, right? They said a new venue too, but
Well, it's going back to an old place, but it's different than what it was for this year.
okay.
Somewhere else again.
Well, it's at the Watt team. It's interesting.
Walter Ballson, I think, is how it's called.
Well, no, it just, Rock Glen.
Yeah.
Polytech University in Surrey. And just a reminder, for the first 5 people that want to go, the club pays for it. So, and it is a very good thing for new officers to go to, and also a good thing for Rotarians that like to network, to participate in. So if you want me to go, or I mean, if you, I won't, go, I'm out of town, but if you want to go, please let me know and I'll get you on the list. So the first 5 go free. But
So in other words, we're gonna pay for 5 whether we go or not.
That's-
That's
kind of the way they do it. So I'm hoping that we at least
So,
stuff 5 in there. And I'm sure we can get a carpool of some sort, or you could get a carpool going of some sort. I will be out of the country in April.
So will people go?
Yeah, that's true. Except for I don't know if you really need a passport to go there. You need
But it
a-
helps.
or, yeah, you know, the augmented or whatever they call it, right? Okay. All right, and then just an off-the-wall comment, the Yale conference is this weekend. So.
We got 2 people.
Two people, awesome, yeah. So good luck to them, hope that goes well. And then finally, just a reminder that Lance has sent an email out to us asking for people interested in participating in the scholarship committee. And just wanted to mention that that's really kind of a focused effort. Lance, if you can maybe say a little bit more about it, but it sounds like the bulk of the effort is going to be in mid-April,
Right.
for about 4 days.
Yeah.
And it's basically just reviewing a lot of materials that are submitted by the applicants. And then basically coming up with a rating for each person in various categories. And then we see where the chips fall.
And then interviewing with students, which is always a great experience as well. I mean,
Yeah,
every year, I think those of us who are on the interview panel just look at these students and, you know, shake our head in disbelief. The level of students that are coming out of this stuff.
isn't that cool?
Yeah, I usually say, what happened to me? And I think agree. And he says that with every interview. But we got 8 willing volunteers, I think about 8 willing volunteers so far.
Okay.
I will call the people that were on the list last year that haven't responded, just to double check. And then I want to give Rand an opportunity to talk about the work that he's doing on the application, because we don't quite have the application ready, but it's just about ready to go.
We were gonna go with a PDF where students just drag and drop their files right into the PDF. That didn't work out the way we wanted it to. So we just decided to move it online. We're gonna have an online application. that, gets rid of PDFs and paperwork altogether. It's an online process.
And
And it should be live next week.
And in addition, you had to purchase another URL to make this all work because Club Runner doesn't have the capacity to do what we need.
But we had a contest to see who could come up with the longest URL possible. And I won with Lake Stevens Rotary Scholarship.org. So that's how people will find out.
That doesn't sound too long. It sounds very concise and to the point.
I can go back and redo it.
Make it longer.
Right.
It does sound good. Yeah. Which is what it's stretching, no,
Well, we'll have a link on our website as well.
All right, well, thank you for that. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's do some reports. Starting with you, Jack.
Everything is hunky-dory.
Are we starting to get some money flowing in?
Well, we got, the money from Dr. Hall. Beyond that, really, I still need to do that.
We'll get some more coming. It's time for sponsors to start speaking up with the checkbook, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, so moved. Gary?
Okay, we've changed the date of the board meeting due to many conflicts. Next board meeting will be the second Tuesday, March 12th. It's going to be in coordination with the fireside. It's going to be at the Lake Stevens Brewery, I guess. That's what we're going to do. And it'll start at 7 p.m. That way I can do the food bank. And I know that was before I changed. Did I have to correct you? I had to pick up this yesterday too. Yeah, the frame sponsors, if there are sponsors up there that you were responsible for obtaining, their certificates are up there. Please take it to them, and it's a good way to try and get them to renew right then and there for this coming year. Don already talked about the district assembly. There's the next meeting of the Lake Stevens Community Working Group, which is the group that I'm involved with, and is involved with, and a couple others, which is working with Community Transit on developing a system within the city to have these small, either cars or vans within a 7-mile range that if you call, supposedly, according to what they've been doing down in Linwood, they should be able to respond to anybody's call within 15 minutes. Take you up, take you any place within that 7 to 10-mile radius that we're still developing. And the price will be the same as if you were getting on a bus. And so that group is meeting on March 18th, from 10 to noon. So this is our 4th meeting.
Gary, on that, does it end up costing the community less than having regular bus service? Is that, I mean, that's the big draw, is it's
It is,
horribly
but you
convenient
know,
and less expensive.
they started this program in Linwood. And it's a 7-mile radius of Alderwood Mall. And if you're in and around that Alderwood Mall and that 7-mile radius, you see these little zip cars going everywhere. And so we don't know, we haven't framed everything yet, because you got Costco on one end, now Frontier, you got Frontier Village, you got downtown, and now you have up at Silver Hill. And so they're trying to see what they can do. Darrington is next on their agenda. Can't remember if Arlington, I think Arlington is on their agenda as well. So anyway, Rotary Learning is back. Instead of a 3-day Rotary Leadership Institute, they're going to do it in a 1-day session. The institute will be held on Saturday, March 9th at Sean O'Donnell's Restaurant in Mount Vernon. It's the old farmhouse restaurant from 8:30 to 4:30. People used to have to go 3 days. And then I think, as I recall, we used to have it in 3-year stints. We went 1 year, next, graduated the next year. So it's down a lot. So if anybody's interested, it's on the district website.
Only thing I really got was, Rotary Grant Seminar tomorrow. Chris and I are rolling up there.
Excellent.
So we can be our, 2-number.
Expected.
So, it'll be fun. Brian.
Yeah, we need something to do outside of this lovely. I love 39 degrees and rainy.
It's warm up a little bit, and the rain's not so bad, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of But if anybody's looking for something to do, I'm spraying rocks tomorrow on some house and get one come out. So it's gonna be exciting. It'll be great.
It's like a good Rotary project.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rotary project to help my son really want to shoot.
Sounds like a plan. We'll put it on,
We'll put it out.
we'll put it on the website. All right, I guess we are going to be next with Kendra. Kendra, and do you have anything?
Good morning. I don't have anything specific. I'm low on speakers for next month, but I'm still putting some contacts out and seeing who responds. So, but nothing crazy to report.
Kendra?
Yes.
I'll probably reach out to you and look at, for May 16th, possibly bringing a speaker with your expertise, because that's kind of what, I don't know if you heard last week, I don't know if you heard. But we talked about, in our area J, bringing in someone that we can, focusing on mental health, so
Oh,
that may lead, so I was thinking I'd get together to see if we can find a speaker there,
oh, awesome.
so, and I think you probably know some people in that arena.
Yeah, awesome. Get in touch with me and we'll talk about that. Also because that reminds me, I just want to confirm that like I sent out an email this morning with Barbara's presentation. Did you guys see it?
No text, I didn't see the email, but I got.
Okay, yeah, I sent it. I sent text and an email just to make sure it got to someone. So, it looked like it was a PowerPoint.
Kendra, I did send you a possible candidate for speaker. I think they're from Anacortes.
Oh, okay. Gary, that's so fun because like I remember getting that email and it was on a day that I couldn't dig into it. And then just last night I was searching. I'm like, I know someone sent me a suggestion for a speaker and I was trying to find it and I couldn't remember who it was from. So I'll search your name and see if it comes up in my email.
I'm not seeing it on the Rotary email address, but you might have sent it to somebody else, or.
Well, I sent it to all three of you guys, Dawn, Gary, Ron, and I think I sent it to Chris too, just to make sure it got to someone.
Okay, well then Gary can probably just forward it to the student Rotary and then we have it.
Oh yeah, no, Dawn, I'm looking at the email. Your name's right here on who I sent it to. Dawn.
I don't have my email up on this machine, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, Gary will just forward it to me and then we'll have that all set. One
Okay,
more,
great.
we haven't talked about this firmly, but the week of June 21st And I think that's a Saturday. I forget what day it is, but we won't have a meeting on that particular week, so don't book anybody for that. And just for everybody's benefit, we're probably going to do the banquet, the installation banquet on that particular weekend. The following weekend kind of corresponds with the official 4th of July weekend. And so we thought that it might be better just to have it a little earlier. So, yeah, so anyhow, that's just kind of a pending, not a problem.
Is it the week, the last weekend in June? The week after?
Well, it would be the second from the last weekend, the 21st. Yeah, it's the second from the last weekend is the start of the 4th of July week. So, okay, Brad, do you have
No, nothing other than what we've already talked about.
nothing but what we've both really done? Okay, and James, shall we do our little?
Yes, we shall.
Okay.
All right, we hold a raffle every week, and if somebody has the winning ticket, I'm gonna have our guests. Pick out the, no pressure here. Pick out the red ticket.
What do we get for?
Well, it's state, bills, we say $5.
Oh, wow.
But they have, the duck out here, and then the duck has a program and there's
Okay, so.
So last 3 months, last 5, I think the red ticket.
Yeah. Okay, 136.
Oh, that's neat.
If I would have not, you said no. Yeah.
He should win because he's.
Well, farmer.
Actually, I've heard your presentation.
You've already heard it.
Yeah.
You came to the thing on the Monroe Fairground?
Oh, I went to, at the chamber.
I didn't think of the gym. It's somebody else.
You've got.
Good deal. How much did I miss?
$80.
Wow. We found a
All right.
presentation, thank you.
You got it.
Let's see, who's last in today? Last in.
No.
Last in, who was last in?
No.
So technically Debbie was, she was
No.
there talking.
No.
That's when she came to the board. Damn it, it was the.
No, we're carrying that to the boat.
I had no. Already.
All right. Who all has their badges? Badges, they got bird. They got, who doesn't have their badge? Okay, there you go, Hey, badge. There you go. Good. Hey, badge. Amen. You don't know what it is.
That's the definition of law.
Gotcha. Oh, $1,000. Charge for a new badge. There you go.
Someone.
Good morning, online folks. Are we happy today? Daniel.
Yes, my daughter is competing this weekend in Renton, which is not very far, so I'm happy about that. In her dance, with her dance studio, and she's getting better and better every day. So I'm excited to see her perform, and she's performing more often. We used to go to these events and see over a 3-day period and see her dance one time. Now she's in several dances, so that'll be good.
Awesome. Well, great. And Kendra.
Yeah, very happy. I haven't been able to make meetings in the last month or so, so I'm happy to be back and that life has settled down for a moment. So now I can enjoy meeting with you guys on Friday.
Right, well, good deal. Mr. President, are you happy? I am happy. I'm just happy that Amy had the level of success that she did. And that she seemed to survive it just fine.
Thank you. I'm a little.
Your legs still feel like they're, going?
Right.
Yeah, good deal. Eddie,
Couple bucks.
welcome.
I've forgotten what my happy one was gonna be. I'm happy to be here and be fun here. I love anything to do with horses. But,
Yeah.
and then I have a interesting buck for that little purchase and sale agreement that I'm doing in Ocean Shores, because my attorney did look at the documents and said, yes, there's documentation fraud going on, which then involved like 3 different real estate agents. So, and there's also tax fraud, and there's also just a whole bunch of like deception practices. So I reached out to our good friend, Representative Steve Moss, and said, Steve, how do you suggest I proceed? And some of these fall under corporations, you know, we've got corporate licenses that get in place. So the saga continues.
So no party yet out of it, sure.
No, and I don't think at that house, because with active roof leaks, it's ruined the insulation, so that was my last 2-day trip where they determined how serious that was, and it's like,
Wow.
don't want that to be my problem. Let it go back to people who started the problem.
All right. Good deal. Good luck on that.
Thanks, Durand, for your work on the scholarship application. Sherwood Gala this Friday. Unfortunately, 2 key members of the team both have COVID. It's Saturday. And kind of a sad, happy dollar. My ex-wife was in a car accident this week in Spokane. She had brain aneurysm while she was driving and flipped the car almost upside down for a period of time in the vehicle before they reported it out. And 4 to 5 hours of brain surgery. Yesterday, she started responding and moving on and stuff. So,
Well, I'm happy about those for sure, because I'm hiring one of their, for the workers.
supported employment.
Yeah, I'm working employee, she's gonna work at my shop.
Great.
Happy to be here and, looking forward to Saturday night.
All right.
Good, so just really glad that it was light out when I got out of the house today, so it's so much easier driving than that. And looking forward to Sherwood, I'll be at the front desk, so, you know, somebody.
My drivers, there's some snow out there. Nothing down your way? No?
Well, there's a little bit,
Little
but
bit.
nothing. About.
Farther out, not Blue Coat.
Yeah, Mountain Loop is a whole different story.
Yes, it is. All right, one love.
Happy to be here, missed a lot of meetings, glad I got to Vegas, but be back for a while now.
All Rotaries worldwide, so maybe you, all right, fine. Mr. President to be.
Happy, announced last week that I was gonna be a grandpa and our gender reveal last week, so another girl.
Oh.
Think of what you know.
Yeah. But his side of things was all boys, so my side of family, we got girls, so you know, the dominant.
Well, next time around, Parks.
Yeah. Happy to be here. So a little announcement, Chris Smith and I have gone out onto a little adventure. So we were the only bid for the concession stand at London Park. So we'll be doing paddle boat rental. A little bit more official. We're still waiting on the contract from the city, but we have filed. Yeah, it's a little concession. They have like the food. It's sort of like snacks and stuff. We're definitely, I'm not putting the food day. But it'll be fun, it'll be something for the community. Yeah, it'll be cool.
So it's a private enterprise?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think the city would like to have Aquafest have a paddle boat race. Well, in the paddleboard.
Oh, paddleboard or paddle boats?
Paddle boat.
Okay. Paddleboard. Don't tell Amy, but she'll probably,
Probably, yeah, we'll probably win.
You're doing happy bucks.
I was in contact with Piano, I gotta get the two books again. Oh.
Where's she going?
All right, Mr. Secretary.
I'll get back, just, I don't know if this is a happy or sad buck, but Joyce is back in the hospital. She, apparently she either fainted or passed out. Don't know how she was found, but she called Tracy at midnight as she was being loaded into the, ambulance to take her to the hospital. So, Tracy said, please let me know what room you're in and everything. And as of last night at 7:30, Tracy's still in her. So we don't know what her situation is, but she is in hospital.
We'll keep her in our prayers. Past President, I'm glad it's ready and good job on the bicycle thing. And we'll be praying for Joyce. Right.
Happy buck. I get to watch my son, whose head was inflated about this big, humble himself now to being a homeowner. Whenever he had rock brought in, well, he didn't have rock brought in. He didn't want to buy the rock because he was low on funds after everything. He's like, you can get the rock for me. And I'm like, oh. So it's fun to watch him go from thinking he's a baller, right? Because of everything to then he had the money to buy rock. So it was nice. Yeah, you won't know first, but this is looking for his boat. So yeah, he's got and granted, he's got a really great house, but we're gonna put gravel. Oh, so I would, so. Be careful. And I would not have bought this house because when we're sitting in there, we are meeting with his realtor. His soon-to-be father-in-law, them and me and Cassie, everybody's happy about it. And his soon-to-be father-in-law said, well, Brian, what do you think? I'm like, I wouldn't drive through this neighborhood to get my house. At 51, there's no part of me, because every other house is nice, let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So, and it's not something I would want to drive tired from work and come home and just go, gee. So for me, and for him, he's got instant equity. He bought it, was like valued at 400,000, and he bought it for 330. It's a new little mobile home, so it's perfect for a first time 21-year-old kid. Like you can store a boat. Yeah.
You're right about.
And it's razor, then you can get all that crap out of mine. Please. That's razor, it's on his other stuff.
You have all that motor stuff in it, right?
No, not anymore. It's all you know. We gotta clean it out. So, humble buck, that's what that was. That was a humble buck for my son. Good deal.
More money from me, thank you. I'm super humbled by your guys' support, thank you so much. Looking forward to this weekend, we got gifted tickets to the Sounders opening game, like 12 tickets. So that sounds really fun, but more fun, we have like 3 4th grade basketball games to go to, 2 12-year-old lacrosse games, and another 12-year-old soccer game. Weekend, big sports weekend right now. Wow. So those are the same time. You were correct. You know it. That's right. You need a third parent to be able to. Yeah. Fun family weekend. Oh, grand. We're in Vegas.
Yeah, one last thing, I'm taking Pablo and Diego up to Canada.
Oh, you're that right. Are you gonna stay up there?
No.
You're gonna make 2 trips?
No, I think Chris is gonna go up on Sunday.
You're going up tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going up to Bellingham tomorrow, and then my wife and I we're gonna go to Bellingham for about 3 times this coming week, so. Still up and down, Yeah. She's really quite a bit for meetings, so. And then, finally, I told my wife one time, she'd go up there and stay, it's pretty cool down. One of the things to do there.
Careful, Ron might just shove you out of the car on the way home.
There's some people shops in Fairhaven too, but you can't shop at that oil and limit.
Okay, I won't.
I'll put in another bug. I forgot to mention that tomorrow is the Snohomish Chamber Wine Festival. I think we're gonna have about 700 people, but we're part of the 225 VIPs. We gave them swag bags with little products, and then we're also doing a tasting outside for them from like 12 to 7. So if any of you are going or have family that are going, you'll see us there.
I'm the driver.
You the designated?
Where is it?
Thomas Family Farm. So it's the chamber big event, so we'll be part of it, right in our. And for those who don't do wine, the Snohomish Senior Center is doing a Snohomish on the Rocks distillery event. I think it's at end of March. So we got.
Must be about 4 o'clock in the afternoon if they're seniors.
I thought you were going to mocktail now, but no, you can have all mocktails or anything.
All right, Jack, are you happy?
Sure.
All right. All right. And,
Croc, but I did make it through a week, but that is.
An extra day.
make up for it the other years. All right, I'm happy. It's a great club. $1 for Joyce, Mr. President. All right, thank you, sergeants. So we're ready for Barbara Gordon, and she's with Home acronym for helping our miniature equines. And looking forward to hearing about little horses and things.
Thank you.
So, you can use the little buttons here.
Awesome. That'll work for me
To
perfect.
advance through and.
So, thank you so much for letting me come and join you today. This is actually my first experience at Rotary Club, and what a welcoming.
It'll never be topped either.
Welcoming, warm group you are. I really appreciate it. Hey, Bob, I want to thank you specifically. I know your wife, Neil pointed a beautiful jean jacket for our auction last year, so thank you very much for that.
Excuse me,
Absolutely, yeah.
you don't minimize that.
You do what you need to do. So as Don mentioned, I'm Barbara Gordon. I'm with Helping Our Miniature Equines. I think probably the best place to start is to tell you a little bit about Home, why we got started, and how we evolved. And then I'm going to tell a couple stories because stories are always fun. I want to tell you a little bit about what you can do with a miniature equine. Because for those of us from the horse world, we're like, yeah, you ride them, right? No, you don't ride them. But there are a lot of fun things to do with them. And then for those who are interested, how you can, if you want to, and interrupt with questions all along the way. So I had the good fortune to retire 6 or 7 years ago. And what I did when I retired was I said, okay, do I want to go get another degree in college? Do I want to go do this? Do I want to go do that? And I tried a whole bunch of things. And I didn't love any of them. Until my friend Lori showed up one day at my house and said, you know, we've always talked about doing a nonprofit. Why don't we do something that's quite unique? And take a look at helping miniature horses, miniature donkeys, and miniature mules. There's no rescues that are totally focused only on the little guys here in the Pacific Northwest. Frankly, we're the only one on the West Coast because the other one in California shut down a little while ago. So we decided to do this because they're really cute. People get them and they put them in their backyard. They love them for about, a few weeks, a few months, a few years. Kids grow up and then they're no longer cared for. Or people are not great always. They're abused, they're neglected, they're unwanted. So the first thing we did is we said, okay, people up here in the Northwest want them. People in the South have way too many. And we found that they're getting dumped into auctions. Auctions are a very bad place for animals because they get sick and they get traumatized. So we said to ourselves, all right, how do we get ahead of that auction pipeline by giving people a place to surrender their animals without having to dump them in an auction. That started to work for us extremely well. We started in January 2021. And we made an agreement amongst us that we will never have more than 10. And that lasted, how long do you think?
About 10 days.
Barely, barely. So right now, we have brought in about 170 animals. Over the last 3 years. We just started our 4th year. We usually have about 30 on the property at any time. And the demand is overwhelming. As you guys know who do service work, compassion fatigue is a real challenge because there is so much opportunity to do good and you can only stretch your resources so far. So we made an agreement with ourselves on the board and we said, we may not be able to help them all, but the ones that cross our threshold have our commitment for life. And that's how we designate it. So when we are full, we say no. Well, so we only say no to buying out of auction. We've never said no to an owner and we've never said no to animal control. So when an animal's been seized or before an animal gets into trouble, we will find a way to take care of them. We are working hard to educate people on how do you take care of these animals and how long they live in their lifetime commitment. We feel really good at the progress that we're making, but there's always more to do. We only do miniatures, donkeys, horses, mules. There's other people who do the big horses. And we focus on the whole animal. Nobody pays attention in general to doing dental work for miniatures. And the problem with minis is they've been sized down from big horses, so they have bad teeth a lot. And that can mean they can't eat. Right, exactly. It's a rasping thing like you do on their hooves, but different instrument. So we pay attention to the whole animal. We think about how do we protect their bonds. They care for life, like we don't break bonds. We only adopt out in pairs unless somebody already has a name. We think carefully on how to do training. Now our training is, can you be a civilized member of a family? Our training isn't, can you know, jump up in the air? Can you pull a cart? We don't do that kind of training, but can you be an animal that's gonna go for a walk with your family and be fun to be with? That's our objective. We have also found a bunch of animals that need permanent home with us. These are blind, one-eyed, very old, high medical needs. Right now, we have about 10 animals in our sanctuary. And I'll show you a couple pictures of them because they're really adorable. And then last year, we started our newest program. It's called Home Care. I started it, so I'm particularly proud of it, where we take highly trained minis in to visit senior citizens. And we're working in King and Snohomish counties right now. We saw about 350 people this past year. I want to get to 1,000 in 2024. And, you know, we are 100% volunteer, 100% donor and grant funded. So we're looking for ways to say thank you to our community. Participating in parades, we do that some, but the senior visits is the primary one that we're our way of giving back to our community for the incredible work people are doing for us. So let me tell you a few stories. This is Bandit. Bandit came out of the South, out of a horrible place, Elkhart, Texas. He was a group of part of 11 horses. He came with his best friend, Winston. Bandit was about 5 months old when we got him. So that's a bad 5 months, right? He started back in life. He also came incredibly sick. So sick that we had him in the ICU at the hospital for over a week with his best friend, Winston. We never break those bonds. We always take animals to the hospital and care as if we can. And it was the hospital said, Pilchuck Animal Hospital, Equine Hospital said they had never seen an animal come in with this high of a parasite load or worm load. It impacted his liver and kidneys as you would expect. The good news is we spent a bunch of money with great expertise helping, and we were able to get him through it, get Winston through their illnesses. We put him in a foster here in Lake Stevens for about 4 or 5 months to let him grow up a little bit. And then we had a family coming up from Kiala to look at we have a big group of miniature mules right now. And they were really interested in the mini mules. And when they walk onto our property and they look over and they see Winston and Ben and they're like, oh no, this is our family. We need to take these boys home. They made it through our whole adoption process, and about 2 weeks ago, they came up. So Winston and Ben are now living on a 35-acre horse property with a best friend, Big Horse, and in a family that just, worships and adores and loves them. And is super experienced, because they're still quite young, and we don't adopt babies out to inexperienced people, because you can mess them up pretty easily. So Bandit at the hospital is on the left, along with his buddy Winston. So sick he could barely stand, he could barely walk, and this is Bandit. Handsome as ever. The next horse I want to tell you about is Grandma Betty. Grandma Betty was dumped in a cattle auction, and that means literally the auctioneer people went, why is there a horse in there with all these cows? She was starved almost to death. She's quite old, well over 30. The auctioneer people called a family they knew who had horses and said, could you take her? They took her, but they didn't want a new miniature horse. For sure, it wasn't part of their plan. So they got a hold of us and we took Betty. Betty takes a lot to take care of. Because she was so starved, you can't just throw a bunch of hay and grain at her or she'll die. Like any other starved animal, you have to do this very carefully. We were feeding her 6 to 7 times a day for the first few weeks to get her body to be able to accept having normal meals again. And she found her home, which we never expected. She was in our sanctuary program. The very old tend to not get new families, but Grandma Betty was another one where this family came up out of Bothell to see her and went, oh my gosh, this is our horse. And they came and picked her up the next day after completing our whole adoption process, which is quite thorough. And Betty's doing great. She's living a very pampered life. Their only goal is to make every day that Betty has left a fantastic day. So this is pretty awesome. Napoleon and Spitfire are part of the sanctuary. Napoleon is the little fella on the left who looks like a plush animal. And Spitfire is the guy on the right. So their story is that Napoleon was living with a family. They had a mini horse die. The mom had 2 kids, was pregnant with the 3rd, and she couldn't continue to take care of Napoleon. She got a hold of us, we got him. Napoleon is allergic to hay, grain, grass, almost air, right? It's crazy. But he came on allergy shots, which are steroids. The problem with allergy shots for horses is it can create an inflammation in their hooves over time. It's called laminitis, and we try to avoid that. So we got him, and the first thing we did is we got a nebulizer. They make them for horses. And we got him on that, got him off the steroid shot. And then over time, his horse keeping has allowed him to not even need the nebulizer. We keep it just in case, but we've also been able to introduce some grain along with allergy pills. Just the everyday allergy over-the-counter stuff has allowed us to start to expand his diet a little bit, and he's living a very, very happy life. I don't think anybody's ever going to adopt him, which is great, because we love him so much. We don't want to let him go, and his needs are just quite unique. Spitfire was owned by a woman who was moving to Montana. She intended to take her big horses with her, but Spitfire was 20, a stallion, and blind. And she knew that the trip would be too much, it would kill him. So she gave him to us. We gelded him. We geld anybody who comes, any male horse, not human. We take care of the reproductive needs of any male animal that comes on the property. And for the first time in his life, he gets to live with others, because he's never been allowed to be cohabitating because he was a stallion. Stallions will try to attack other male horses or breed female horses. So they're loved and cared for. They get chalk in their mane, they get colors, they get groomed, all, they're really, really sweet, lovely animals. We find that we place many of our animals as companions to big horses. So the 2 on the left are actually mine. The little guy is Rocky, And he came out of that Elkhart, Texas, where Winston Van came from. And the big guy is Koa. He's a rescue out of Safe. He was a fancy schmancy race, reining horse. He competed at the highest levels in the national shows. The owner got on hard times and refused to let him go. So he was starved almost to death. Animal control seized him. I ended up getting him a little while later. On the right are Ranger and Tucker, and this horse was the daughter's horse. As she grew up, she took this horse to college, and when she came home from college, she wanted to bring the horse home, but they couldn't put the horse in home. So they adopted Ranger and Tucker, two little fellows there, to be his play. So other things, oh, yeah. We have a number of people that come to us and say, I want a horse or a donkey. And we're like, yeah, have you ever done this before? And they say no. So we get to teach them, how do you interact with horses? What's the right way to manage a donkey? The person on the right there, Chion, came to me and said, I want a donkey. And I'm like, yeah, donkeys are not, the easiest starter animal. She said, it's okay, I'll learn. And I said, okay, so how do you learn? She said, well, I go on Facebook and I create a community and I talk to everybody. Then she tells me she brushes her cows. She has cows and she grooms them every day. I'm like, okay, so you're doing something right. So we spent a lot of time with her and we were able to find her the right donkey. The fellow on the left has been afraid of horses. They're dirty. It's not culturally where he comes from. And his wife's like, no, we need a couple of mini horses. Well, he fell so in love with his horse, it's his little pocket pony. Miniatures are great for new people to equines. I mentioned home cares. So I think we have 2 or 3 visits scheduled this month. Linwood post-acute care rehab facility, Emerald Heights. We've been to Field Senior Living, to Sunrise in Bellevue, a few of the Aegis places. We love bringing our animals in so that they get to spend an hour with folks. We go to skilled nursing, we go to assisted living, we go into memory care, and we will visit in individual rooms if that's necessary. We only spend about an hour. We're not trying to change people's lives. We're just trying to bring a little bit of a smile for the day, for that moment. The next thing we want to do, we have to do, and I'm working on getting funding for it, is buy a small delivery van. Here's my problem. My colleague, Lori, drives a nice big truck, a nice mini horse trailer. So it's smaller than a big horse trailer. But I gotta have about 40 feet to park. I can't go to Mercer Island, I can't go downtown Kirkland, I can't go downtown Seattle. There's a lot of places I want to go into that just doesn't have a space to accommodate it. So I'm looking for a small minivan. I think we raised 12,500. I think it's going to cost us about 35, but I'm putting out the grants and doing the work to get that done because we get to make people's lives a little bit better for that. So as I mentioned, we're 100% volunteer run, and we are always looking for work for it. I heard something about spreading gravel. That was music to my ears. One of the things that we've been working on is we have a very large paddock that we're building a track inside it. So we've got about 3/4 of the gravel spread into a kind of a 3-4 foot wide track. We have our bridge built, but we got to get the handrail built. We have like good physical projects for those who want to do good physical work. We do daily chores every day from 8 to 10, 9 to 11, I guess it says, and 4 to 6, food, water, pick up the food. Very meditative. And the beautiful thing about miniature horses is the food weighs a lot. Big horses. We have people in their 70s working with us. We have people in their 5, 6, 7-year-old accompanied by their parents working with us. So we have shifts every day, every week. We also teach people how to groom and how to do training for those who want to do that kind of stuff, if you want. We need people to help us with social media and all the regular stuff that you guys fully understand running your own charity program. We are offering sponsorships for the Home Haven. That's our sanctuary, and $25 a month. We've gotten about 15 people now that are participating on a regular basis. We want to build that up over time. And our next meeting, Bob. So Bob got to come last year. I believe you guys were there. This is our annual fundraising event. It is a silent live auction. It's food, beverage. We have some really fun stuff. We've got Hawaii, Belize, a few other big trips on the agenda. Beecher's Cheese just donated 8-pound block of cheese for us, which I thought was very sweet of them. Anyway, we got fun stuff. It's 2:30 p.m. in Woodinville, so it's a little bit of an afternoon. Fun horses, miniatures, big Frisians, big black horses, all kinds of fun stuff. So you're all invited. No pressure, but come if you want. And for those of you who have businesses that like to do gift baskets, we would love to include you in our auction. So this is Spitfire, the little blind fellow, and that's his best friend, Mary Lakes. And you can see Mary Lakes is quite loved. She's got braids and colored chalk in her hair. The kids really get a kick out of grooming these guys. And this is Spitfire living his best life. And because of our community, we get to do this. And I appreciate the chance to come in and, tell you a little bit about the thing that just feels like the right thing to do. The right thing to do every single day is to be a part of home. Can I answer any questions? Yes, I do.
Where did they come from? Are they natural events, like deer on small islands?
Great question.
Or
Yeah, great
where do
question.
they live?
So miniature horses are intentionally bred to be smaller from big horses. So you think about poodles come in big, medium, small. Same idea with miniature horses. Miniature donkeys are a different species than big donkeys. So donkeys have something crazy amount, like 100 different types of donkeys. Miniature donkeys are not sized down donkeys. They literally are different ones. Miniature mules are also intentional because mules are kind of interesting. It's a cross between a donkey and a horse. They are almost always sterile. So 99.9% sterile. So the only way you get a mini mule is by intentionally breeding or allowing breeding to occur. Yeah. That's where they come.
You're located in.
Oh, good question. Thank you. I didn't just say that. We are based in Arlington. Yeah, we're at Alpine Ridge. We are housed at Lori's home. She is our CEO. I live down in Bellevue. I'm near Bridle Trails, and once a year we do a walking event for Bridle Trails. But yeah, Arlington, just on the Marysville border, actually. So it's very close. Exit 200 if you're going on by-5.
Can we look you up on Google?
You can. Okay. Yeah. So I should probably include. Yeah, the website's on the bottom. I did include the website. Yeah, we have a name.
And Barb, you've been helping them how long?
We've been doing this since January 21. So we're just starting our 4th year now.
Yeah, so you form it with them, like you were part of the initial.
Oh, yeah. It's Lori and my baby, along with, we have some other members of the board. We now have a vet on our board and we have 2 other people.
I think I started up in during the.
We did, it's our COVID project. Yeah. Yeah, it gave us something to do. Again, we started with the idea of 10.
Yeah, right.
The good news is that we do hold ourselves super accountable to welfare. So we have a professional community of a farrier, and we use 2 different veterinary practices. We have an internist, we have a lameness expert, we have body work expert, we have acupuncture, we have all of the specialists. And they're also super good in helping us stay accountable to our agenda. Yeah.
And I think also known as a therapeutic animal or things like that. Like I know some people have dogs and cats.
Yeah.
That is a legal therapeutic.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are some states that have designated miniature horses to be included in that legal therapeutic. We do not train at that level.
Oh.
Yeah, but that is certainly some level you can train at. The therapy level that we train at is for being comfortable with wheelchairs, walkers, with people who don't have good control of their motor skills and are hitting hard when they're trying to step. So we train for that. We also train to not step on toes or think that fingers are carrots. Right? Yeah, we train for elevator. we can go in elevators, so that's pretty cool. That was kind of fun when it worked, it's like, whoo. And we train for different surfaces as well. We train for different surfaces, right? So many of these facilities have, flooring without carpet, which can be slippery. And I guess it's intentional to make it easier for walkers, but yeah.
They wear shoes.
They do not wear shoes. We are barefoot. They do wear poo bags. So if anybody has to poo, that's okay. I carry pee pads in case somebody has to pee. Nobody's done that yet. But honestly, there are a maintenance crew that is kind of used to bottling stuff, but we haven't had a problem.
Thank you. Animals, a variety of ages?
Yes.
Do they tend to be more elderly?
No, the sanctuary tends to have more elderly, but not exclusively. Our therapy guys are 18 months, little Joe's mine. He's 18 months, 2.5, all the way up to about 24. And our 24-year-old is a dwarf, so, pretty. Super tiny, well, he's really tiny, a little wide, but. He picks people. It's crazy. He walks up to somebody, all we do is manage safety and we keep the conversation going with the people. And he'll walk up and he'll just stand with somebody while they hug on him. And he won't leave till he thinks it's time. And we give him the ability to make his own choices because we know that Obi is connecting with someone in a way, especially in memory care where they're far less verbal. It really matters. Yeah, it's very cool. So yeah, all the ages. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time. Thank you so much for being here and I'd love to have you join us at Mini Cavalli and. Now I gotta go scoop food. Probably just.
You use a little trowel or a full-size shovel?
No, we use a regular full-size pitchfork, yep.
All right, so, meeting adjourned.
Thanks, Barbara.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah.